still caring about what others think, there's always going to be someone that you're going to always have two. You're going to have three camps, really. You're going to have people that are indifferent. You're going to have people that are haters. And then you're going to have the people that support you. So you want to stay in the camp of the people that are there helping you lift up and be better.
Never get it twisted when I'm in the booth. You already know I'ma speak my truth. I'ma share my pain. I'ma share my story. You can walk the way.
And we're back. Another episode. Man. Excited to dive into today's discussion. I think we got some cool topics. We're going to benefit some people. What do you got?
2 for 2.
Fresh fade, looks like. Huh?
Oh, yeah. I had to go get a haircut. In the last video you saw, I had a lot of hair. And I think it was time. It was time to, I think that journey was done. And we're back to the clean cut. Actually, it feels very cold. Not going to lie. It's been like, since I think last time I cut my hair before that was June?
Yeah, it was a while.
Late May, so.
He lined it up nice, too.
He did. He did clean me up nice, so. Yeah, no, happy to be back. Happy to sit here. Week 2 of us getting back into this. So, yeah, let's get it going. You have any fun news? Anything going on?
Oh, man. Youth football season started.
Oh, you and your youth football. Nate's always involved.
Oh, man, yeah. So youth football started. I'm involved in one of the couple different organizations here locally. It'll be exciting to see how all these kids do this year. They've got this one year. My son's actually not playing. My son's not playing, but my daughter's on the cheer squad, one of the cheer squads. So I'll be involved a little bit more over there than I will in football because he's not playing. I'm not coaching, which actually I'm kind of excited about not coaching for a season, kind of taking that off and chilling a little bit.
I mean, it gets stressful. I mean, we did it together last year, and we coached throughout the spring, the 7-on-7 stuff. So. Yeah. It's good to take a break. We kept our words that we were not going to go coach this this fall where everybody else said it and they all went to coaching. So we actually kept our word.
So Saturday when the games kick off, I think it's going to become the time when mom and dad realize that little Timmy might not be the superstar that they all think he is, because they realize like you're out here in pads with these little kids. And a lot of times sometimes these parents put massive expectations on these kids and they realize that every kid is not a receiver and a quarterback because they've been playing flag football. Don't get me wrong. I love flag football. It's great. But I think it's, parents have that transition period right now to learn, like tackle's a little bit different. And hey, what he did out there on the, it's just different.
And you're going to get
throwing the ball a whole lot in Little League Pop Warner a lot of times, right?
The kid's not thinking about, my flag's going to get pulled. No, it's, I'm going to get smacked running this ball. So
here he comes.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for the kids, man. The kids get so excited about it. They're pumped. They got opening weekend.
Yep.
They get to go play play football. Some of them for the first time. Others, been playing for years. So it'll be fun. I'm actually going to be out there this weekend with the crew and kind of keep an eye on the fields, make sure everything goes well and whatnot. So I'm excited for them. They're going to crank out and
awesome.
Get rolling.
Well, before we get going, football season's about to kick off. So what do you think? You think your Michigan Blues are going back for a natty?
I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what to expect out of Michigan this year. I don't have any expectations. I don't really go. I try not to go in with expectations any year. Just let them play. But the last 3 years have been good years. They've got. I like their coach. I think their coach is going to be was great for them. He's already he's undefeated as a head coach over there.
He is.
Got that. They did lose a lot of players to the draft.
Yep.
But at the same time, like programs lose players every year to the draft. So.
Hey, we're going to have to wait and see. We'll see how Michigan kicks off. I think Saturday I think it's a night game for them, so we'll see.
We'll see if the Ohio State team was, were they just bought or are they good? We'll find out. Maybe they're both.
Oh, man, here we go.
So let's get in, man. Let's go. Topic 1, discussion 1. What if? This is a very interesting question. If you only had 1 hour to work per day, what would you do? How would you handle that? Your answer might be a little bit different than mine, right? Because you manage the media team over here and run that. I'd do a couple, kind of different functions. Yep. So what would you do?
So I think you need sales, right? Mm-hmm. That's how you get your revenue. So I think I'd spend maybe in our world of media and newsletter, I would probably spend about 30 minutes selling, getting something on the newsletter, getting some kind of advertiser to book. And then I'll spend my last 30 minutes doing my research, writing my newsletter and getting it out. So I think if I had 1 hour, spend the first 30 reaching out to as many people as possible, see who responds, get them on the calendar, book them. If they say yeah, write that newsletter, put their sponsorship in, send them out. We'll make some money that way. I think that's the best way if I had 1 hour of just work. I think that's the way I do it.
Yeah, 1 hour a day. For me, I think it'd be interesting. I would spend a portion of that, maybe 10, 15 minutes, replying to high-level emails back to people where I have conversations and pieces going on, trying to close deals via email and or solve problems via email. I would have a time where I would do most likely a scrum call style, right? Where people are all direct points of things that we need to accomplish for that day. So you might need to add that back in. You might need an hour and 15. So do it, but you could get those done in 10 minutes, right? I mean, they're very efficient and effective. Where are we at? What do you need? Where are we going today? Right? Answer those questions. Make sure no one's got roadblocks for their hour that they're working. 15 minutes. I
was thinking more of my hour of am I going to get something done, make some money, get out.
And then I think the next piece for me would be I would have to do an activity that opens conversations, and I would have to add in an activity that closes deals, right? So it's like open deals, close deals, like each in that hour, right? To push that forward. So the meeting happens to make sure all the operational stuff is happening and getting done for the, going forward, and the clients are being serviced and the advertisers are making their money and getting performance. So we're making sure we're doing that, but then also open and closing, those conversations that push the business forward going forward. But an hour, man, that's tough.
It's tough. Not sure if you guys saw it, but jump on one of your lives. Quick 10-minute live, get some communication, last 10 minutes, try to close some deals out of it. So
yeah, the live went well. I was I wasn't sure what to expect. It's been a long time since I've gone live, and it's the first time I've gone live on that many platforms.
You did. You went live, I think, everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So the goal is to do that every week, right? Once a week. I've got 8 weeks already planned out for the content we're going to do. And I'm interested in seeing, I was talking with my buddy about it today, saying, yeah, going live today. He's like, what do you got registered? I was like, we don't got a lot registered, but it's going to every platform. And I think it's a consistency thing that going live is a consistency thing that as you do it, it grows and the audience grows.
Yeah. So what value can people get from joining your lives, even if it's like 5 minutes every day? What do you think? I know it's going to be different topics throughout the week, but what's like the main value?
So I'm doing it once. Right now, I'm just doing once a week.
Okay.
Right. And that live once a week is on a very specific topic. So today's live talked about how to monetize your audience with a newsletter. And there's three different ways you can monetize an audience, right? You've got social revenue, website revenue, and newsletter revenue are kind of those core ways you can monetize that audience. I dove into just the newsletter side of it. I didn't get into the social and website side. So there's different ways you can monetize audience, and I just focused on that today. Next week, I'm going to get into, I think I've got a couple of topics, but I think what I want to focus on is the 1,000 leads per day sales system. Okay. And it's just a lot of tactical stuff that people can come on the live, learn, and then go execute.
Awesome. Well, I hope for the monetized one, it was loaded because, man, the clients we work with and clients that have wanted to work with us and stuff, the first question is, how are we going to make you money? So there you go. He did it today.
There was a lady on there who was told she cannot make money with a newsletter and an audience using affiliate products and doing sponsorships. And she was like, thank you for this call because I was told you can't do this. And I knew they were wrong because you can do it. And so I think we opened up, I kind of connected the dots for her to be able to go out and actually monetize it through sponsorships, through affiliate offers, right? So,
if we can't do it, we wouldn't be in business. We wouldn't be standing here.
So there was a positive impact. So that was exciting to see that comment come in at the very end. We had a couple questions come on, people kind of clarifying. So it was cool, man. I enjoy the teaching side. I enjoy, and I always have enjoyed kind of educating and training. I've never really enjoyed having to be on stage and sell, right?
Gotcha.
And even sales presentations, I've just never really been my thing. I'm more is like, how can I just provide value, help you? And if you want to work with us, you want to work with us. You know? So now we probably don't generate as many sales as we should because I'm
Correct.
that way, right? But at the same time, it's just how I've been.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So if you guys want to learn, Nate got a new topic next week. Jump on the live. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the whole thing, but a couple minutes to get some value out of it. Ask questions and go from there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So let's go in, man. Let's get discussion number 2. Hacks that changed your life. So let's go back and forth on these, one for one. All right.
All right,
I
go
know
ahead.
you got a couple that you've got down. I've got a couple I've got down. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I'll go. My number 1 is stop caring what others think. I feel like that holds people back a lot because you feel like, oh, if I do this, these people won't accept it. Or if I do this, you're going to get a negative response. At the end of the day, who cares? Nobody's, if you make it, guess what? They're all going to be cheering you on. If you fail, you might get it laughed at here or there, and it is what it is. And I think for myself, young, cared a lot about what people think, trying to make people happy from family, then trying to be, I would say, cool, friends, all that stuff. And then like as I got older here these last like 2-3 years, it's like I really don't care. As long as what I'm doing makes me happy, I'm making money, it's hitting my goals that I'm setting for myself. That's all that matters. I feel like a lot of people get caught in that in their heads, like, oh, I don't want to post this because what are they going to think, or what are these people going to think? At the end of the day, I probably don't even like my Instagram. I probably don't talk to like 90% of the people that I follow. They follow me. Yeah. It's fallen off. So, and the ones that I do talk to, I know they'll support it no matter what. So,
yeah, and it's one of those things where sometimes we get in this loop where we make decisions based on what we think someone's going to think.
Exactly.
We have no clue.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And so that's a good one, man. That if you're listening on that, if you're still caring about what others think, there's always going to be someone that you're going to always have you're going to have 3 camps, really. You're going to have people that are indifferent. You're going to have people that are haters and just going to be negative about anything you do. And then you're going to have the people that support you and the people that are kind of like, let's go, great job, right? So you want to stay in the camp of the people that are there helping you lift up and be better.
Correct.
Now, there's also people that are going to say, hey, look, man, you really screwed that up, but and that's because my expectations are higher for you, and I think you can get there by doing this. There's going to be people that drive you to be better.
Exactly. Which that's good. That's good feedback. But the only way you get that feedback is you got to get out there. You just got to do it. Yeah. If you don't do it, you're never going to learn. You're never going to make the mistake. So yeah. So just don't care what people think anymore.
All right. I would say, all right. So mine is, I'm gonna go number 1, understanding my work rhythm. So there's a circadian rhythm, right, where your body ebbs and flows and how all that works. I can't get into the science of it, but if you're into that, cool. Mine is work rhythm. Maybe there's a cooler marketing name I could have put on this, but I didn't think of it. So what I recently got in the habit of, I'm a creature of habit. I do the same things consistently. And for me, it was always get up, work out, because if I don't get it done, I know that the probability of me getting that workout done decreases throughout the day, right? And so, but the problem was that was causing me not to be as productive. So I'd get up, I'd work out, I'd get my workout done, but then I would go in and I'd come to the office, I'd get stuff done, I'd mess around. I wouldn't get into that focus work mode till later. So my work rhythm, I'm most productive first thing in the morning. So now I get up. I know that between 6 and 8, I'm going to hammer out 2 hours worth of work and hyper-focused work that maybe it'd be writing, whether it be ad campaigns, whether it be processes, whatever that is, right? Whatever it is that I'm working on, I'm going to be able to knock that out at 6 to 8. And my productivity now at this point, I'm very like, all right, bam, I feel great. I'm accomplished. And then what I do is I go to the gym and get a workout in from about 8 to 9. And then I come home and then I go to the office. So what was happening is I was like, I got to be there at this time. I got to knock this out. But then I'd get to where I'm going, I wouldn't get that stuff done. So now, before, when I was really getting a workout done between 8 and 10, I'm now getting done the most important tasks that I have for the day and getting a workout in between 6 and 9:30. Whereas before, I was just getting a workout in.
So how'd you figure out that between 6 and 8 is your time? Did you just?
Well, I just get up early and I realized I'm going to sit down and just start working. I've always known I'm productive then, but I've gotten like the habit of just going to the gym right away.
And you've always been a morning person? Like always?
For a long time now.
Okay.
And the next thing is my other very hyper focused work time happens between 3 and 6. So I know that it's interesting to see how things kick in. I'll be kind of getting things done throughout the day, but not as productive as I need to be. But that 3 o'clock hits, and for some odd reason, it's like the focus comes back.
Yeah.
And I tune everything out, and I just knock out a bunch. So now, with understanding my work rhythm, I'm getting 5 solid hours of hyper-focused work done, which is more than a lot of people get done in a week, really, sometimes, depending on what they're doing. So for me, now I'm being more productive. So understanding that work rhythm was probably one of the bigger recent hacks that has changed things for me. Increased productivity, increased happiness even, because I don't feel stressed because I didn't get that done, right?
Correct.
I feel like, man, I accomplished that.
Well, I mean, yeah, you just get in, it's like a tunnel vision. You just get in the zone. Yeah, I'm not a morning person. I'm a night owl.
But you said that, right?
Yeah,
You
we
work at
talked
night.
about it, and I told him I'd rather work at night. I'll stay up till 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. working, and it's pretty easy for me to do that. My friends will be like, if let's say we go grab dinner or something, they're like, what are you about to do? Oh, I'm about to go sit on the couch and work. Oh, you're working? I was like, yep. Got to get it done somehow. So yeah, night for me, not a morning person. Actually, I've never really been a morning person. So maybe in the future, but right now it's not there yet.
I've always been a relatively morning person. Then when I had kids, I really became a morning person.
Oh, well, maybe that's when I start then.
So what's number 2?
Number 2 for me is setting goals. I think pretty much most of my life since let's say graduated high school, college, all that stuff, I've set goals of where I want to be and accomplish. Like one goal was to buy a house. It was 21. I bought it at 20. Bought my first house at 20. Got that done. Then my next goal was to make a certain amount of money by this age. Got that done. And now I have like 3 goals that I'm trying to hit before the age of 30. One, I'm trying to visit 8 new countries before the age of 30. Accomplishing one this year, Germany. It's going more than Germany. It's Germany, Austria, Italy. So a couple, but 8 new countries. Then my other goal is to own a house by the water. So lake, beach. We'll see which one we pick. I mean, being a Florida boy, the beach is always better, but hey, the lake up here is nice as well. Lake, beach. And then the last one is, by age of 30, is to make $1 million.
Okay.
To make $1 million. So it's the goal. I have those 3 goals to hit. I've hit pretty much all my other ones as they keep going. So we'll see where we go. I got 6 years left.
I just keep hearing a Millie in my head.
Yeah.
By Lil Wayne right now.
That's a great song. That should be an intro song right there. But no, yeah, that's the goal. I got 6 years left to get to it, and we're working towards it. So I'll keep you guys updated in year 6.
So you're 24, right?
24.
Yeah. So you're gonna get it.
We got time.
So number 2 for me is a hack that helped me was my 5-minute morning routine. Mm-hmm. Might not even be 5 minutes, but first thing when I wake up, what I do is I go to the bathroom, I splash cold water on my face, sometimes twice, and then I wipe my face off, right? I dry off, right? It wakes me up. The second thing I do is I brush my teeth.
Okay.
So now I'm like, all right, fresh breath, cold water, fresh breath, I'm ready to rock. And then from there, what I do is I go and chug a 16-ounce thing of water. And then I fill up another one, so I've got that next one ready, right? So for me, I'm waking up, because you get dehydrated at night when you sleep. So I'm waking up. I'm helping myself kind of, boom, you're awake. Now, I don't do the cold plunge first thing. I know a lot of people are like,
you're not going in?
No, I'm not. I did the cold plunge with Susan. Remember? We did that a couple weeks ago. I did this cold plunge for the first time ever. And I'm like, my wife hates cold. I'm like, I'm going to win. I'm winning. There's no way she's beating me in this. I lost. She stayed in longer than me.
What were you in there for, like probably 15 minutes, 30 minutes?
No, the cold plunge?
Yeah.
No, man. I was in there for like 52 seconds or something. And I know the number because I was like counting every one of them. Whereas she got in over a minute for the first time. It was, I like the cold plunge. I felt great actually afterwards. I see why people do it.
Does it catch that breath? Like when you get in, you're like you're
yes.
Like you're
I'm like, I was start focus. I'm like, man, I've seen all these people do this like crazy breathing stuff when they do their cold plunges. I'm gonna start breathing. It didn't work.
Nope.
I just felt everything tightening up. But but I did feel great. You know, interesting enough, my ankles feel great after.
Did it really?
Weirdest thing.
Did it have like bathing salt? Don't they put like the what is it? Bathing salt?
Cold
Whatever it's
ass
called.
water.
He's like, I don't know. It was just cold.
So those are the three things I do in my morning routine that help me wake up, get hydrated, and start the day, and get my mind functioning, working.
Gotcha.
That's help.
So are you throwing cold water when it's like 30 degrees outside and those pipes are like super cold?
Yeah. Don't matter. Just turn the faucet on.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Good to go.
It's not like a 52-second cold plunge. It's literally just, it's not even that cold anyways. But I feel better. Gets me moving.
Man, again, I mean, you are from the north, so different takes. Being a boy from Florida, I don't know about that one. I mean, in the summer it feels great. In the winter, I don't know. It gets cold.
So what's your next one?
Listening. Being at the young age I was, started working at an agency at the age of, was it 19? 19. Was going to school. I always say this. I learned a lot more in the agency than I did at school. I actually think that there was actually a time in school where I mentioned something to my professor. It was actually talking about SEM PPCs, and I told him that it's not like that, and he got upset with me because what I learned in the agency was completely different what he was teaching in class and data. So agency, one thing I was always a good listener. People always ask me, it's like, why are you not taking notes? It's like, because if I take notes, I'm not going to listen to what you're telling me. You're just saying, and I'm just writing. Where if I listen first, I can listen. If I have a question, I can ask it. So at 19, listen, I learned a lot about digital marketing, was selling it, all that stuff. Then I moved on to another career, learned a whole other, still in the marketing, still doing marketing, but in a whole different industry. Learned it out there from, again, listening. A lot of it there. Now that was when I was working with cars. That had to do a lot with like pipes and sounds and how this degree does this force, like all that stuff. And all it just came from like just taking it in. I've never, like I said, I've never been a note taker. There's times I've been in a meeting and I'll hit like the audio button just so it records everything. But I don't like taking notes because if I take notes, I don't process what I'm being told. And being so young, a lot of young people think they know it all. Now I'll say there's things I would say I know it all, but I really don't. I've learned. I mean, I make mistakes. I've done it plenty of time. Actually, I think a week ago I told Nate, I was like, hey, yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. I think I messed this up pretty bad. And I was able, I had help. Someone helped me out figuring it out and fixing it, but everything came from listening and learning. And same with you. I've never been in the newsletter space. Email marketing, I knew it, but we only ran it for other companies. But I didn't know that there is a whole other world where you can do the newsletter space and make money from it. I always thought you send the newsletter because it's part of your business and every business needs it. So I think listening is very important. I think a lot of people struggle with it. They just like to think they know it all instead of just sit there and listen. Even if you do know it, just listen. You might learn one or two things out of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, they shut off when people talk just because I know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So my third one is I have a weekly action list. And a lot of times this has been the best one for me. I've done all the different things to try and stay organized, get things done. I literally on Monday just write out my action list for the week of the most important things that I know I need to do that day or that week. Actually, my action list says, what's your action list today? And it's not. For me, it's the week.
Okay.
And on there, that's the top 5 things, my 3 stretch goals, and then it's got notes for underneath it. So I put my top 5 things on there. I have my 3 stretch goals, and I usually should always hit those. And my goal is to accomplish that throughout the week. And so now what I do at 6 to 8 in the morning is that number one that gets knocked off. Number 2 gets knocked off. So I'm knocking them all out throughout the week. So those action goals, that weekly action item list is big for me because a lot of times if I don't have that list and I go through the week, I look at it and go, what did I do? Sometimes I forget, I didn't accomplish anything this week, but really you knocked a bunch of stuff out. We're just reacting and doing it. Mm-hmm. Whereas the action list allows me to be proactive in regards to what needs to get accomplished as opposed to reacting to what comes to my plate to get done.
Yeah. Is there ever a time that from that action list that something doesn't get done? And if it doesn't, like, what do you do?
Just move it to the top of the list for the next
day. So that becomes your priority.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's also things that have been on the action list that make it to week over week and they don't get done and then at that point, I know it's not a priority.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, I haven't done it, so.
I'm not rushing to it, so.
It's clearly not I try and also mark things down. What are revenue drivers as well on that action list and what are not, right? So keep an idea and make sure, because a lot of times we can get busy being busy. And in small business, you also have to keep focus on revenue. So I always try and identify what action items are driving revenue versus which ones are being busy.
Yep. No, that's good. I mean, I think everybody should have an action list. It's important. It helps you, knocks it out. And with work nowadays, I mean, you get lost. So especially in small businesses like us here, we wear different hats. Mm-hmm. Maybe in the corporate world, there are bigger companies, more money, there's position for everything. But here, you're wearing so many hats that things get lost, and emails. I mean, it's happened to me, it's happened to you, where things get lost in that action list. At least make sure, like you said, priorities get knocked out, and then the rest will come in little by little.
Agreed.
So,
well, it would not be a podcast without talking about media, newsletters.
Yep.
And whatnot. So let's get into it. This is where we left off on our last podcast and talked about, hey, we're going to get into this next week. So I want to make sure we fulfill what we said we would do.
Yep.
Which is who should be using newsletters? Who should be using email? Who should be owning their audience?
Everyone. Well, not everyone. People who want to do it aside, but business-wise, I think every business should have a newsletter, because if you are a business, that means you probably have customers or clients or previous customers. And I promise you, without the newsletter, you're probably not keeping communication, unless you have like account managers and stuff and they're active clients. But outside of that, I mean, your newsletter, I feel like, is the way you provide a message. If there's an event, if there's an offer, if there's a sale, and it can go for any industry. It doesn't matter if you're in the home service. It doesn't matter if you're in the retail. It doesn't matter if you're in affiliate. It doesn't matter if you're a newsletter. Just get it out there, because that's, again, if you're a business, you have clients and you have to make sure you're keeping them informed so you can retain them or they can refer you new clients.
Well, so that's a wrap, right? Everybody, to answer that question. And for example, every business that has customers those are subscribers to your newsletter. Mm-hmm. If you're a coach or a consultant, if you're an agency owner, if you're a service business, right? Let's speak about coaches and consultants specifically. How are you going to be able to build that thought leadership with your tribe if you're not communicating with them consistently? Email makes it the easiest for you to speak one to many, to also put yourself and position yourself as that thought leader for them that helps them going forward. In a very simple way for coach consultants to do this. If you're like, oh no, I push out on social. Yeah, great job. It's an owned audience and maybe a lot of people didn't see it. So if you extract them into your newsletter and into your follow-up system, you can send them that content as well to increase the chances of them watching it. Mm-hmm. So that's a great way for you to ascend more leads into customers and turn more customers into repeat buyers. If you're in that space, home services companies, you've worked with plenty of them, right?
Yep.
So
it's huge.
There's sales emails, right? And you got to have direct sales emails in any company. But there's also the newsletter that provides value and knowledge and rapport, and it builds rapport with the customer and says, hey, look, they're going to have number one person over here who only sends them sales emails. Then they're going to have company 2 over here that sends value and information to help them with whatever the service is, but also produces sales.
Correct.
Also sends sales emails. The person who's trying to, improve my knowledge and help me, not always just take from me, is the person that you're most likely going to choose to do business with.
Exactly. And I can use an example. So in the HVAC world, a lot of people don't know they got to get their ducts clean, like their air vent ducts. I mean, that's actually one of like the number one things that start a house fire. All that lint that gets stuck in there, and you got to get it cleaned up. When I was back at the agency, we worked with HVAC companies, and one company did a email where they send out talking about like the value, like why you need to be cleaning your air dry vents, all this stuff, and you have no idea how many people actually booked it. It wasn't a crazy offer. It was like, I think it was like $45, $50. So many people booked it because first you're giving them value on, hey, you have this. Everybody does. If you have a dryer in your house, you have it. You have this. This is one of the top causes of starting a house fire in the country. And this is what we can do to help you with it. People were signing up, easy sale. It wasn't a push. Nobody was pushing sale. We just told them, we gave them value, information. Hey, and just letting you know, if you need someone to do it for you, we can do it for you. So that's one way, like when you're talking about values doing it. And you yourself, I mean, you have your own newsletter where don't get me wrong, sometimes you do push a sale here and there, but most of what you're giving is value, and people reach out. Once you get value out there, people are reaching out. I mean, We did it with one of our task newsletter agency, right? Give value. People started reaching out, and build some customer base out of it. So just keep giving it.
So the answer is, who should be using newsletters? Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Influencers. If you are an influencer online, you should be leveraging a newsletter.
And nothing wrong with social.
If you're a influencer/creator, like, social's great. Keep growing it, but put those people into an audience that you own. Because now think about it, when you have products that come to you and say, hey, I want to pay you for your name, image, and likeness, and I want you to promote my product, you'll be like, you know what? I'll do that for you on social, but do you happen to know that I also got 500,000 email subscribers that I can get in front of as well? Well, that's going to increase the amount of money that you make as a creator, as an influencer, when that happens and you have that asset. Because you're a competitor, a lot of your competitors do not.
Yep. And with social media, believe it or not, Instagram and Facebook got to make money. How do they make money? Ads, boosting posts. So why would they grab your post and show it to 100% of your audience? They're not. So what they do is, and I know this, I learned this from a conference I went to. So like Instagram only shows your post to 3 to 6% people of your following. If you want to get it to the rest, that's called boost. That means you got to spend money. That means it's advertisement. That's how they make their money. So when you post out there, if you have 1 million followers, 3%. Some people might have a little bit higher depending on their algorithm and the kind of impact they have in that audience. But most of it's 3 to 6% is what you're getting out there. So when you're thinking social newsletter, I think I'm gonna take with my 50% open rate.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal to use social to grow your audience and reach new people, and then extract those people into your ecosystem that you own.
Yep.
So, and it'll increase the amount of money you make because you now have multiple audiences.
Correct. So, and you control your audience when you have a newsletter on Instagram. So, Instagram account gets deleted. Guess what happens to those 5 million followers? They're gone. Can't get them back.
Yeah, just a guy. He had a smaller account. Guy that I just saw the other day that I know. He sent me a friend request, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this a hack? Did he get hacked? What's going on? It happened to be his, but it wasn't a large audience, but he had like 5,000 It was like a combined audience about 14,000, right? And they shut his account off, and he couldn't get back into it, and so now he's starting from scratch. And he wasn't doing anything he shouldn't be doing. It was just what happened. So if you have those people on a newsletter, if that ever does happen to you, and he's not the first person, right? We've all heard the horror stories, and you now have that ability to build that back faster, but also still communicate.
Yep. So there you go.
Well, that's a wrap, man. Appreciate y'all listening. Thank you. Yep. Do us a favor. Like, comment, share, do all those things. And if you gain value, something you want to hear, clip it, send it to someone else. Let them share that value with someone, because sharing is caring, liking is great, and hit the subscribe button.
There you go.
All those good things, man.
And follow us on Instagram. There we go. Awesome.